Kept you waiting, huh? Let's do a sneaking suit ranking list. So, obviously, disclaimer, this is, my own take, my own opinions. Obviously, other people have different opinions about what the best sneaking suit would be for Metal Gear Solid, kind of similar to the tranquilizer guns. But I tried basing it the best that I can in terms of, abilities for a suit, looks, and overall accessibility, kinda. I don't know. But also, mainly just in looks. Because it's like some sneaking suits look better than others. But let's just go straight into it. I have 7 suits, and rank 7 would be the Diamond Dog suit. I hate it. I despise it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it makes Venom Snake look a little bit more thick in some areas, which I kind of feel defeats the purpose of a sneaking suit. I know that sneaking suit was like supposedly the prototype to Solid Snake sneaking suit in Metal Gear Solid 1. In a way, it was kind of like a call forward, but I just didn't really like the design, especially like its special ability just didn't really make a whole lot of sense for it because it's like with the sneaking suit and how Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of plays out, there's no major boss battles except for the one obvious fight against a Metal Gear. But beyond that, its gimmick for it doesn't really work out that well. It gives you a little bit of a health regeneration boost, but you gotta stay still and crawl to recover it. As opposed to some other games where there would have been a sneaking suit, it would have, you'd been recovering your health over time. It's just that one small catch of having to recover your health by just crawling or crouching, it's still slow enough that you can still get your ass handed to you. And at that point, you're better off just either challenging yourself by not wearing the sneaking suit at all, or just wearing the battle dress so you won't get damaged as much. But also beyond that, it says that it supposedly has extra bullet resistance. I don't feel that it does. For the first 3 ranks, of course. I'm not talking about the online versions of the Diamond Dog sneaking suit. But I feel like there's no major difference in damage resistance from wearing that suit to any other suit. But beyond that, yeah, I don't like the looks unless you download certain mods that make it a little bit skinnier. So that kind of works. But even then, it's like the back also looks a little bit unappealing. I don't know why. The back just feels padded. It doesn't feel muscular like a normal sneaking suit. It just I hate the backside. And considering you're in a third person view and you're always going to see the back portion of the Diamond Dog suit, yeah, no, I don't like it. So the next one, which, yeah, it's the follow-up suit to it. It's the Metal Gear Solid 1 sneaking suit. And obviously, depending on what version of Metal Gear Solid 1 you play, you'll obviously get the retro pixelated 90s version, or you'll get the more in-depth version of, you know, the sneaking suit in 2005's The Twin Snakes. And just going off of it, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's obviously a lot skinnier in some ways. I honestly had to bring up a fucking image just to make sure I wasn't, skimping out on details here. But I like the vest. It looks a lot better compared to the Phantom Pains one. I like the pads, like the elbow pads. Those look kind of fucking cool. And it does look a lot more technologically advanced with the material they use and all that jazz. But beyond that, the only reason why I rank that as 6 is that, if anybody's played Metal Gear Solid, they obviously played Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm not discounting Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, but I feel Metal Gear Solid was the one that just kind of jump-started the popularity for it. And, yeah, I just feel like that's the suit that everyone was exposed to, even though it was in the retro style for it. But it was a good sneaking suit. I love the collar for it. Okay, that's a more accurate rendition for the Twin Snakes one. Oh, yeah. That definitely looks a lot better than fucking the Phantom Pains one, especially because there's like certain things that there's more definition to Snake's muscles. I feel like I'm looking at an image for it if I can fucking find it. Oh lord, this is terrible. You can kind of see like a definition to his arms, and I kind of like that because I kind of feel with a sneaking suit, it's supposed to be skin tight in a way. I guess to help with movement. I don't know. I just like the more skin tight shit, I guess. Say what you will with that. But when you look at like the Phantom Pain sneaking suit, it doesn't give off that vibe at all. It feels really rubbery in some areas, especially in the arm guards. It just does not look that appealing at all as opposed to Metal Gear Solid 1 suit, especially with the Twin Snakes updated graphics. But beyond that, I mean, it was also the original sneaking suit that people got to see it first, and it sounds like a badass suit. But yeah, that's why that gets ranked 6. It looks slightly more appealing and technologically advanced than the Diamond Dog suit. But then going off from that, it will be the tanker suit for Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid 2. And the only real difference is they just took off the vest and the pads for the suit. And, you know, they replaced like the pads in favor of like for Snake to have like a harness, like an actual like ammo vest. But I feel that was a benefit just because I feel it looks a lot more tactical. And again, less is more. Because I feel like they got rid of the vest, it looks like he could be a little bit more nimble. And of course he can have more room for more utility items. And I mean, at first I wasn't a huge fan of the suit until I saw a popular modder from Metal Gear Solid 5 modding, Jim LaFleur. He did an image for like a Metal Gear Solid 2 retexture suit for the sneaking suit. And my god, when I saw it and it's like high quality, I was just like, I wanted that suit to come to Metal Gear Solid 5 as a mod. And I don't know if it did somehow. I don't know if maybe he released it. I've been trying to follow up on Age to see if he actually released it. I don't know if he did. But, yeah, you know what? If he ever sees this video, in case you haven't released it, please release it, because I'll download that shit immediately. It's a badass suit. Like, once more details added, it actually looks kind of fucking cool. But, beyond that, I mean, you barely use it. It's a simple suit, but again, less is more, and I think because of that appeal, it just kind of fucking works. But beyond that, I mean, it just looks cool in my eyes. It looks sexy. It looks good. But next one, rank 4, the skull suit. And again, it's also treading the line of less is more. It makes you look really skin tight. It appeals to that whole idea of, again, skull suit. It's that skin, it almost reveals your bones. But beyond that, I mean, this time around, we also get some added information and a codec call from Campbell about the sneaking suit. It sticks really close to your body to improve blood flow so you can heal a little bit, yada, yada, yada. It could be the same could be said about all the sneaking suits. Apparently, it helps with swimming because there's less drag. Helps with maneuverability. Whole yada yada. But in terms of the design, it actually doesn't look too bad. But I am a little bit disappointed that unless, you know, there's some sort of mod to change the textures for it in the PC version, I do hate the fact that Raiden got rid of the mask in that introduction to the plant chapter. Because I feel the mask was kind of cool, especially considering it gave you so much oxygen for breathing. Like, you'd think maybe Raiden would have kept that as, like, an actual item. Like, why would he throw it away? Like, yes, there is the obvious disadvantage when you go in the first-person view mode. It's like, oh, yeah, you see, like, you see it through the mask's eyes. But I mean, even in Metal Gear Solid 1, there was the gas mask that you could choose to put on or take off, and it would obscure your vision. But Snake got to keep in case those instances where you had to go through an area that, didn't have any oxygen in it. So why can't Raiden do the same thing? Why couldn't that be like an actual, like, mask to wear? It would have helped with the underwater sections tremendously, unless, you got the cheat for the infinite water wig, then yeah, I guess it's kind of pointless. But the mask complements the suit, kind of like later on when I talk about a different suit and how it complements it. But yeah, I mean, the look is cool. I like the skin tightness of it. And I guess some of the in-lore benefits for it does sound like it's the most advanced suit ever. But it doesn't compare to the bronze ranking here. The Octocamo suit from Metal Gear Solid 4. And I have to preface it with this. I wonder how much it would have assisted Snake in terms of gameplay if he wasn't aging like a motherfucker because of his genes. Like, I can only imagine how much it would have benefited him if he was in his prime. Because, Octocamo was talking about how it dubs as a muscle suit as well. Like, Snake could have benefited from that shit. You're probably like, nah, I don't need that. I can do this without it. It would have been nice if, Snake wasn't, dying, literally. So you could have taken advantage of it, because otherwise, it just helps with his, his weakened bones and muscles. But beyond that, Octocamo, we all know about it. It was basically the evolution of the camo system from Metal Gear Solid 3, and that's like its main selling point, is that it allows you to take a camouflage texture from any surface and apply it on you immediately. And that's a huge fucking benefit. You don't have to worry about, fucking around with, like, changing the outfits and shit. Even though you did have that option in Metal Gear Solid 4, it just helps streamline it. But because of that and the matching mask, the Octo face camo, that you get off of a boss later on in the game, it just complements the suit so well. It just feels like a two-piece deal. Like, you have to wear it in conjunction to get, like, the full attire. It's kind of fucking cool. I like it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's why it gets third place as opposed to any other suit, just because of that massive camouflage benefit. It can allow you to get through some shit really easily. And that, like, the fact that it dubs as a muscle suit is kind of cool as well. It just sucks, Snake had to be fucking dying. And he couldn't take more advantage of it, even though, in terms of the Metal Gear Solid games, it's like, you never get to act out that shit in gameplay. Like, you never get to jump off of fucking rockets like you did in Twin Snakes in that cutscene. Fucking assholes. But then, rank 2, Silver. And of course, this one has the obvious disadvantage of, you don't have it from the start. You have to wait till basically the end of the game to unlock it, which kind of sucks. But I mean, because there's the clear game, new game plus type deal with Metal Gear Solid 3 and how you can carry over your outfits into a new game plus, it's not that much of an inconvenience. It's kind of similar to the Easy Gun. There's obviously that one huge disadvantage to outweigh the other benefits of it. And this is, like, kind of like one of the first times that, like, a sneaking suit that was just, just a clothing to put over your character to emphasize the sneaking part, it actually conveys gameplay benefits. The Metal Gear Solid 3 sneaking suit, or the CCCP sneaking suit, or the Russian sneaking suit. I don't know what the real name is, but I mean, it's the proto sneaking suit. It's the prototype to the prototypes. It's the original sneaking suit. And for that, it's rather fucking badass. It looks fucking awesome. It's not as muscular as, like, later sneaking suits, but I mean, even just looking at, like, sorry, kind of jumped the gun here in terms of pausing this here. Gotta do my due diligence here. But even look at the designs of the sneaking suit. I love the textures to it. Yeah, I know I was talking before for Metal Gear Solid 5. It doesn't have, it doesn't show the muscles that well, but at least the patterns for the prototype sneaking suit in Metal Gear Solid 3 kind of looked fucking cool. yeah, it just looks it. It looks awesome. Seeing it for some action figures, it looks kind of like a spacesuit, which you do kind of see that with like the Fury with his suit. It kind of looks similar, and oh my god. Well, there's something new for everything. I'm actually kind of glad as I look at the images here. Apparently, there's mods for the Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D, the Nintendo DS version, and there's just a mod that makes it all black. And I have to say, it looks fucking better. Holy shit. Damn. Anywho, never mind. Original suit. I don't know. I just kind of like the design of it. I love it's not necessarily a striped pattern, but it looks like, I guess what some people would say, it does look like a snake skin in a way. Like that type of pattern looks kind of cool. But beyond the design, at least for like in terms like the Metal Gear Solid, it feels like it's one of those suits where as you add details to it, it does look kind of shitty. Like the washed out, semi-low detail look of the Metal Gear Solid 3 original suit looks badass, but then I look at in Metal Gear Solid 5, it doesn't look good at all. Like, I don't know why, it just doesn't look good. But Metal Gear Solid 3 suit, yes. It looks nice. But beyond that, it's one of like the first suits that conveyed actual gameplay benefits. In that it cuts all damage you take in half, cuts the standard consumption in half, and it gives you like a minor 5 or 10% camo index in all environments, alluding again to the sneaking suit. Now, of course, sadly, it doesn't have, like the benefit of silencing your footsteps, which is kind of sad. But I mean, beyond that, it was practically one of the best suits you could unlock in Metal Gear Solid 3 just because of those extra, like, benefits for it. And on top of, like, the badass looking factor, it was one of the suits I practically wore throughout the entire game. I would just say fuck the camouflage unless it was a really specific situation where I needed camouflage. But beyond that, I was like, nope, sneaking suit main all the way. It's one of those suits where I wish it had, like, a full piece to it. Like, I wish there was a mask for it just to add more detail and coolness to it. But finally, the number one sneaking suit. The SV sneaking suit from Peace Walker and the Phantom Pain to an extent. Now, given it's not as potent as Metal Gear Solid 3 suit, I will confess that. It's on the lower end of the spectrum. Now, it says it conveys the benefits of being like an all-weather suit, perfect for any condition. In Peace Walker, it has like a better buff compared to the Phantom Pain one. It gives you a little bit of extra health regeneration, I believe, and it does quiet your footsteps completely. Phantom Pain doesn't give you that health regen bonus, sadly, and you do have like the improved stealth, but it's like you have to be crouch walking so that it doesn't completely give away your movement sound. So it did get a small nerf in the Phantom Pain, but overall, I just love the design of it. I think it's the best design ever. I mean, it's completely skin tight. It kind of reminds me of like a less muscular version of the Skull suit, and a little bit of the Metal Gear Solid 2 suit. It has like built-in pads for the knees, so that kind of helps. I love the golden bands for the arms and the legs. And especially look at like the Ground Zero's promotional materials for it. It looks completely fucking badass in rain. And I mean, it just looks fucking awesome. It just looks like the most appealing suit. It's really plain and simplistic. It doesn't look like that muscular or burdensome, and it does feel like it would aid in like some stealthy situations. It'd just be nice, you can change your rig your vest to help it match a little bit better, to give you like a little bit of like a boost to camouflage. But beyond that, I just love that sneaking suit, especially considering, technically speaking, it has the most instances in a game, in my opinion. It's in Peace Walker. It's in Ground Zeroes, if you consider that a game at all. I know some people consider it a demo, but I mean, it is by itself a separate game. And then it's in the Phantom Pain. And of course, in terms of unlocking it, it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, compared to, like, say, the Metal Gear Solid 3 sneaking suit. If I'm right, you get this suit like a third into or halfway through Peace Walker, so you get to take advantage of it a little bit earlier on. In the Phantom Pain, you just literally have to have a save file from fucking Ground Zeroes. You have to sadly upload it to the Konami servers and download it, which kind of means the disadvantage of, if the servers ever do go offline because Konami decides to be a bunch of fucking dicks, then that just means you'll never get it in the Phantom Pain. But thankfully, if you're released on PC, you don't want to go through those options, fuck it, just download a mod or download a retexture for a different suit, and there you go. You get the SV sneaking suit. Again, what it lacks in some utility, it makes up for in pure style, in my opinion. That's kind of why I just placed that at number 1. It just looks that fucking appealing, in my opinion. And it's one of those suits that also benefit greatly from, a fucking resolution bump. And as opposed to, like, the Metal Gear Solid 3 sneaking suit, it doesn't look that good with the higher definition. It definitely brought out some ugliness to it that still looked better in Metal Gear Solid 3. The fucking SV sneaking suit going from Peace Walker to the Phantom Pain just looks fucking beautiful. But that's my ranking. Oh, but honorable mention, I have to make sure I mention this one. Kind of a non-canon sneaking suit, in my opinion. The Close Quarters Combat suit, the CQC sneaking suit from Portable Ops. I think I remember trying that game one time on an emulator when I was going through all the games before Phantom Pain came out. And I mean, it's kind of like a bridge between, like, Solid Snake sneaking suit, Metal Gear Solid 2, and the SV suit. And obviously, like, they were saying, it's supposed to have the benefit of improving your close quarters combat efficiency, but beyond that, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. It just kind of sucks, it only had that instance in a video game. But, can't really say much about it, because Portable Ops is probably the one Metal Gear Solid game that I didn't play that much of. It's like I only played that one time as opposed to all the other ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my ranking. I'm in love with the SV sneaking suit. Not saying all of them suck. They're all great in their own right. Except the Diamond Dog suit. That one can just, get thrown to a fucking closet, never to be worn again. But that's the manager clocking on out of this audio log. If you like these rankings, leave a like, leave a dislike if you disliked it. Give your comments to, like, what your favorite sneaking suit is, what your top 3 ranking would be, or whatever, what order you'd want to go into. And subscribe if you still enjoy my ramblings, even though by the time you probably see this, it'll probably be a couple months down the line with the amount of fucking videos I've been making on the side. Just been getting that fucking energy here. But that's all I'll talk about for now, until another lightning bolt of ramblings hits me, and I feel the need to record it, because fuck it. But, yeah, that's all. I'm out. Bye.